Hi there. I'm very well, thank you. How are you doing?
Well, things are getting better here in Spain, so we are a little bit happier than yesterday.
Okay. Right. Oh, that's good. That's good to hear.
Yeah. Your new album will be out on 1st October. See what's on the
hmm
side.
hmm
Um, what are your feelings now with this record before it's out?
I think me and the band, me and the guys, we're all feeling very, very confident with the record. Very happy with it. Um, we're just very excited to get it out, I think, more than anything. It's there's always a level of, like you can't wait. It's like this time. It's so close to the world hearing it, and you've lived with it for a while now, and certain people have listened to it, but not everyone. And I don't know. It's a cool sort of like limbo to be in. But yeah, very excited. I'm looking forward to it, man. Looking forward to it.
Hmm. Just few people have listened to the album. What are the reviews of your closest people?
Honestly, everyone that's listened to it has just said nothing but positive things about it, which is great. Like because if you listen back to our discography, asking Alexandria, each album has a different sound, almost a different flavor. Um, we'd ever trying to like recreate the same thing. It's always going to have to be a little bit different, to keep it interesting. And sometimes that can be, sometimes people, it takes a while for them to like pick up on where we're going. But with this album, I feel like it's just we've hit the floor running. Like the online response to Alone Again has been phenomenal. Every like people like yourselves that are reviewing the album or interviewing us in regard to it, they've all had glowing feedback, and and our friends, family, everyone's stoked on it. Um, so it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling.
Hmm. And as you said, your music has changed during your career. Um, and how have you feel that change? Because the way of playing the first songs of the band, when you're playing in a tour, when you have to play a song like, for example, the final episode, which is the song I listened first of the band, and now the
Mhm.
new ones. It's difficult for you to change your mood of playing because as you can see here I play drums too, and
Okay.
it's very when I'm playing different kind of songs, my mood when I'm playing is different. How do you feel in that when you are playing different songs like that?
Yeah, I definitely I get where I can see where you're coming from. I think the biggest difference is tempos. Tempos definitely play a difference in mood, but I I really enjoy playing. Like if you yourself are a drummer, if you go ahead and like learn some of the newer songs that we have, they're very fun to play. And that's as I'm maturing as a human, as a musician, um, what I want to accomplish with my drumming, my goals have changed, and the way that I want to play has changed. It's not so much like how many notes can I fit in, or what can I do in this space. It's how do I make what I'm playing sound better. It's quality of what I'm playing. Like I want to be hitting the drums in a certain way to really, you know, bring the sound. Whereas before it was a lot of like intricate speed. Whereas now it's, we've been doing this for so long. We've been a touring band. We've played thousands of shows all around the world, and I think as every album has progressed, and I think we've really hit the nail on the head with "See What's on the Inside." It's creating songs that will go down well live, and that people will resonate and feel these songs in a live setting. Um, and that has a knock-on effect of the way in which you play and the way you feel when you play. Because if the crowd is vibing off the way you're playing and the songs you play, and they can hear you clearly from, you know, the top seats in an arena, you know, and everything just comes through crystal clear because you're more focused on the way in which you're playing it. You know, it's a really special thing, man. And I think, you know, that's where our heads are at with what we're trying to accomplish right now.
Yeah, and as your style has changed, some of your fans are saying always bad things about your new music because it's not the same that with the first records. How do you feel when you read that kind of critics of the band because you have changed your music style?
I mean, yeah, people are definitely, you know, anyone's it allows an opinion, you know. At the end of the day, this is our band, and you know, this is five guys that are friends, that have, you know, grown up, become adults together, that have like spent their entire adult lives living with one another and creating stuff together. And you know, as we evolve as people and as, you know, brothers in this group, so does our music. And I think honestly, man, like a lot of that style, like maybe the earlier styles, is like people can look back at that with like nostalgia. But I think if we were to make music like that nowadays, it's not appropriate. I don't think. It's just so hyper aggressive and angry and very angular. And I think nowadays we're just not those people anymore, you know. By all means, I still want to be, you know, we're still playing the same shows. You're still going to see us on like, I know, Download Festival or Rock am Ring, or even these, like, you know, these big metal festivals. We still know where we live, and you know, we still want to bring the energy live, but it's just going to be in a different way. And I think, again, when people actually see us live and get to feel that, you'll see that it all makes sense.
Mm-hmm. And well, Alone Again, which is the single of this new record, has more than 1 million views on YouTube and more than 2.5 million streams on Spotify. So your streams are in a good way, I guess. How important is for a band like you in an economical way that streams? Because maybe 10 or 15 years ago, there was no many streams like now, but you could earn more money, you know?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. There's been a bit of a shift in the music industry for sure. You know, physical product is definitely not in the same way, but now it's more of a streaming service almost. But you know, as the world changes and as the music industry evolves to face the, you know, the issues of today, as it were, we will evolve with it. And you know, as long as our music is getting out to people and they can hear it and they can appreciate it, I think that's a good thing. And a lot of people are. So I think, you know, obviously we're looking to the future, and we're probably going to be upping the streams. You know, more people are going to be looking, more people are going to be listening and consuming our music in that way. You know, and if that's the way, then, you know, and if that brings people to my band and listen to what we have to say and brings them to a show, then it's a good thing in my book.
Do you think that this, I don't know if I can say new, but this new style you're playing now is better for that kind of platforms, for the music which is listened by most of the people?
I think as a whole, our music has become more accessible to more people. You know, sometimes music can scare people away, and I feel like our music's not that scary anymore. So I think, you know, it will, regardless of however people are consuming it, I think it's gonna, more people can listen to it. So I think it doesn't really make a difference if it's on YouTube or Spotify or, you know, any of the streaming platforms or radio or even on TV. You know, I feel like more people can enjoy it, particularly the new album, I think.
So now that, as you said, more people can enjoy your music because it's more accessible, do you have bigger plans for the band?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we know where we want to be. You know, we've grown up playing, you know, to the rock and metal fans, and that's where we live. You know, this is our bed. You know, but we just want to move up the ladder, keep improving our show, bringing the size and the magnitude of the performance that we're bringing, and so people are going to see us, you know, hopefully headlining these festivals one day.
We hope. And for the writing process of this album, you were in Franklin, Tennessee, if I'm not wrong, the whole band together. How was this process for you? Because it was totally different from the past records.
Yeah, so previous records, it's been quite disjointed, like because we all live in the States currently, but you know, the United States is huge, and we live in different sides of it, different parts of it. You know, thousands of miles between some of us. So sometimes it would be like, and not to mention, we would be recording in different studios. Like I might track drums in one studio, but I'll like write them in a different one, and we'll go and record somewhere. And Danny might come in and track somewhere else, and so it's sort of all over the place, you know. And that worked for us for a few years, but you know, with the pandemic and all this time off, we really, it gave us a lot of time to think. And you know, how did we want to come back to the world with new music? How do we want to present ourselves, and how do we want to create this new sound for Asking, or this new album, you know? And it's like, well, let's get back down to basics, you know, let's get back down to our roots, which is these 5 guys just playing music together, living the album and the creation, and then tracking it all together. You know, and I think it was a real special thing, and it's the first time we've done that in almost 10 years, I think.
Yeah.
So it was great, man. You know, it was a good bonding time for us as you know, because we hadn't seen each other for a while. So it was a great time for us just to hang out and enjoy each other's company, but also, you know, live the album through the whole process. And I think it was it's definitely something that we will continue into the future.
Did that time make your friendship stronger?
Yeah, I mean, we've been great friends throughout this whole, even through all the craziness that's happened in this band, we've always remained friends. But now, yeah, I think doing things like this is only strengthening a bond that's already very strong, you know? So it's, yeah, it was a really, really good time.
So do you think that your fans or people can feel your way of writing being together if you compare it, your new songs with the previous ones where you were playing in your house or in your own studio or whatever?
I think you know, yeah, it'll definitely play a part in the music. Like also the way in which we recorded the new album, because we were living there, it was like I had my drums set up the whole time. Danny had the vocal booth ready whenever he wanted it. You know, the guitars were ready to go. Like everything was ready at all times. So it wasn't like we're going to record drums now. Now we're going to record vocals, or now we're recording guitars. It was just like, who wants to record today? Are you feeling up for it? Okay, cool. Like if Johnny's like, oh, I really want to get in the booth, I'm like, okay, cool, dude, you go. You know, like I'll wait to track later. So it was this whole, that feel and the way of creating and the way of like capturing the sound, I think was so special. And I think you can definitely hear that in this record. It sounds honest because it is. the takes were great takes, all of them, and that's something we really worked for. We strived for the quality of the sound that we were capturing, like being meticulous with drum tones and guitar tones, and the microphone that Danny's using alone was like extremely rare, and like all this plays a part in the sound, and I think it really has it's benefited this album massively.
And which was the worst part? The worst part of being together? Because I mean, maybe at the morning you wanted to go at the same time to the bathroom or something like that. What was that kind of funny moments maybe you had during that process?
Honestly, the worst part, and I'm pretty sure everyone can agree with me who's been away from our families. A lot of the guys in the band have young families and young kids, and that was hard because it was the first time we've been away from them. In some cases ever, but in other cases for a long time. So that was difficult. But in terms of actually issues when we were recording, I mean, shit. Running out of wine kind of sucked, like, damn, we need to go back to the store to get more drink. There wasn't really any issues, I'd say. It was just a really fun time, man.
and well, in the press quote the label sent us, it says that Metallica is one of your main influences, and you've been playing with that influence is very present for you. I don't know how to say in your mind, in like Led Zeppelin or Metallica, but focus on Metallica. They have released the Metallica Blacklist with a lot of covers or several artists. I would like to know first of all, which is your favorite song of the Black Album? Why? And which one would you like to play? Like, for example, if the band would make a cover.
Yeah, dude. Personally, I would say I really like Wherever I May Roam. I have a fond memory of that because in one of my when I was very, very young and I was really just starting to play drums, me and some friends would cover that song. And I remember it took me such a long time to work out the amount of snares at the beginning before it kicks in. It has like that weird sort of like displaced time feel. And but yeah, I mean, in terms of which song we would like to cover, I mean, shit, I'd say the guitarists have to pick that because they've got the hard job, I mean, Lars has got a great backbeat, but I think I can. The drums are okay. I think it would be more like which one is Ben feeling up for soloing over? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and well, talking about your drumming, I have some questions about that. Which kind of kit is the best for you? Because some drummers prefers a lot of cymbals, and some drummers prefer a lot of toms. What is your perfect combination of elements on your drums?
Oh man, I actually just did. I think we're gonna have some special edition, like behind the scenes stuff coming out, and I just compiled and it's gonna have like list gear and whatnot. I compiled my whole list of everything I use in the studio. It was an awful lot, but for me, I've been using the same style kit, which is a Tama Star Classic Babinga, for quite a few years now. I have 4 different variations of this kit in different colors and in different parts of the world. And I just think it's the best for our style of music. Babinga is it's actually becoming quite a rare wood, and I don't know if they're going to be building kits out of it for much longer. So thankfully, I've got I've got some in the bag. But yeah, I think it has a lot of attack. Sounds low, sounds heavy. And then I do use quite a lot of cymbals. I actually used a gong drum as well for my first time, which was just the coolest experience, man. I'd never used one before. It sounded fake. It sounded like an 808, the way we had it. And this at the beginning of Alone Again, you hear like these swells behind the clean acoustic guitar, and that's me playing the gong drum with mallets. and it just made this crazy, just gut wrenching sound. Like when you play it through a PA, just like, or like in your car, maybe something with a lot of low end. Listen out for that, and you can hear like the mallets, the swells of the rolls that I was using as what I was doing. Sorry. Um, so yeah, dude, I used a lot, and then I used the bell brass snare, that's the go-to metal snare. You know, it's loud, it's aggressive. Tammer again, and yeah, I mean, dude, I think I had honestly about like 20 plus mics on my kit throughout the process. So I had like four kicks on the snare, four mics on the snare, sorry, four mics on the kick, like three on the snare. Like we were like capturing so much
Yeah.
on the drums, and it's it's all organic. Everything that's played is real. There's no fake drums. There's no overlay. There's no nothing. It's just like that's it. We just captured it really well, and I'm super proud of that. It's a cool feeling.
And do you prefer big cymbals or maybe smaller cymbals?
I use big cymbals. I use 15-inch hats, 18, 20-inch crashes, 21-inch, 22-inch ride. I think even my splash is like an 8-inch, I think.
So do you prefer them because the sound is like more, I don't know if I can say longer, but
Yeah.
it's sounding more time that, for example, the little ones that sounds maybe more intensive, or I don't know how to
Yeah.
say it.
The little ones are great for playing in little places. But when you play big areas, you want a bigger sound, and big cymbals just make more sense. They do last for long. Like if you're playing, in a big high, like very tall ceiling, like big, like an arena or a huge theater, you want big cymbals because you want to project that sound. And I've always enjoyed using bigger cymbals. I also use 2B drumsticks, so I need big stuff.
Yeah, and
I'll break the little ones.
and well, I will to finish the interview with your five favorite albums of all time. If you could say which are your five favorite records and why, please.
How many? 5?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Top of my head. Shit, man. It's always like catches you off guard. My 5 favorite records. I'd say I'd say Slipknot. Slipknot has to go up there because it had a really big part of my life growing up, and it really got me into metal when I was a kid. I'd say The Prodigy, Fat of the Land. Again, it was very influential when I was really young, just starting to get into music. What other stuff I'm looking, like trying to think about what other I'll say Metallica's Black Album because again, it's just it's like an easy go-to, but it works. System of a Down, Toxicity, again, because I'm just like listing off the stuff that literally made me want to pick up drums. I think nowadays, like I listen to a lot of other stuff, like a lot of like lighter music, a lot of like electronic music, a lot of like everything, like stuff that doesn't even have like a band even sometimes. But back in the early 2000s when I was starting out, they had a really big effect on me. So.
I've find out a minute ago that I think my camera was switched off, so you couldn't see my drums before.
Oh no, I couldn't.
Okay,
no,
now you can see it.
Yeah. No, I just didn't know if you just didn't have.
Okay. Well, James, so thank you very much for your time. It's been a pleasure, and hope to see you soon here in Spain again on tour.
Oh yeah, I have fond memories of Spain, so we want to be back there real soon.
Okay, so goodbye.
Thank you very much, sir. Take it easy. Bye now.
Thank you.